What's up, guys? So this past weekend, I've been spending time here in this beautiful home in the mountains of Harabacoa. We've just been out and about, going to different friends' houses that the person whose place that we're staying in, it's his friends. And when I tell you, man, we've been just enjoying ourselves the whole time, going to different people's houses, having conversation, eating, drinking, just that whole get together vibe. Also experiencing the town of Harabacoa, going out, grabbing something to eat at some of their nice restaurants here. And I just woke up this morning because we're gonna head out today with this particular topic on my mind. And when I say I just woke up, I hadn't even washed my face or anything, man. I just had this on my mind. I grabbed the camera, came out here, and I said, you know what? I want to talk about this. And that is moving abroad the new American dream? Because more and more people are asking themselves these days, is the life in the United States that they're chasing, is it even worth it anymore? And some are realizing that that dream just may be waiting for them somewhere else. So if you've ever felt stuck in a grind, or you think that life could be more than just stress, paying bills, and survival mode, then you need to pay attention to this one, because this video may be for you. So let's get into it and talk about why leaving the US is now becoming the new kind of freedom for many people, including myself. But first, we need to define the American dream and what it used to mean. At its core, it was about opportunity, but we defined it as the big house, the white picket fence, the steady job, the 2 kids, maybe a dog, and a retirement plan. It was all about security, stability, and success through hard work. It was the bedrock of aspiration. It was the belief that anyone, regardless of their background, could achieve prosperity and security in the United States. The chance to build a better life for yourself and for your family. It meant access to good education, affordable health care, that secure job that can support a comfortable lifestyle, and that ability to climb the socioeconomic ladder. But somewhere along the way, that dream started to feel less and less accessible. The landscape has drastically, and when I say drastically, it has drastically shifted. The cost of living in any major city in America has skyrocketed. The wages didn't keep up with inflation, and home ownership has become so out of reach for many. And at some point, home ownership was the cornerstone of the American dream. And not to mention, student debt has been eating away at people's future before it even started. And the promise of secure employment has become less certain, because now we live in a globalized and automated economy where AI is taking over. And if you haven't watched that video that I did about AI, click right here. And for most folks, like the millennials and the Gen X, the American dream is starting to feel more like a treadmill rather than a destination. And this is not to say that success stories don't exist in America, because they do. But the path to achieving that traditional vision has become steeper and more challenging for many people, which is creating a sense of delusion and having people asking this question here: is there an alternative to this? Because I know people still believe that they can achieve the American dream. And I believe that people can too. Like I just said, I don't think success stories don't exist. But what people don't want to understand when you talk about this is how hard it has become for people to achieve that. And one thing they like to throw in your face is that, oh, you're not built to live in America, or you don't have what it takes, as if that means something. Which it doesn't. If you can build a better life for yourself outside of the United States, why stay in a place where you have to work 10 times as harder to get the same results? It doesn't even make sense. And people will try to shame you for it. And I just laugh at them, because you can't shame me. I'm living my life. I'm in Harabacoa. Look at that background. So to answer that question, is there an alternative? And the answer to that is absolutely, and it lies beyond the US borders. For many people, including myself, moving abroad wasn't just a fantasy, it was the new American dream. Because everything I named that was getting difficult to achieve in the United States, I'm able to achieve it here. I don't have to deal with high cost healthcare or accommodations that are sky high, amongst many other things. The pursuit of a better quality of life, greater financial success, and a less stressful existence is leading people to look for other opportunities elsewhere. So what's causing this shift? Why are people leaving what's supposed to be called the best country in the world? Well, it's a mix of things. The burnout of hustle culture, the rising cost of living, the lack of work-life balance, and for some, they just want a slower and more intentional life. And some have safety concerns. And the biggest one is people are feeling like they're just working to live. And now people are realizing you don't have to stay in a place where you feel trapped. And good for them for waking up and feeling this way. You can design a life that feels lighter, it feels freer, and more fulfilling elsewhere. And listen, guys, quality of life is subjective. It looks different for everybody. What one person values, the other person may not. But now that Americans are starting to feel squeezed, their priorities are starting to shift. And you can see it. And I felt the same way. When I started to feel squeezed, my priorities started to shift. I was no longer worrying about the big house, the white picket fence. I was thinking about how can I buy back my time? How can I get more time for myself and my family? So I understand. So yes, when you start to feel squeezed, your priorities start to shift. You no longer want that big house. Now you're thinking about a financial peace of mind, more time with your family, and a less stressful existence. And yes, you can find this if you move abroad. For many of us, the new American dream does not involve us staying in America at all. It's about freedom, financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom. It's about choosing peace over pressure. Maybe living in a country where your dollar stretches just a little bit further. Your stress level lowers, and the idea of having a community attracts you more than competition. And for some, it's strictly about financial, the ability to invest and the ability to be able to save at the same time. For others, it could be affordable health care. Some people already have their finances in order, but they can't afford to live in the US because of the high cost of health care. For some, it may just be waking up and taking a 10-minute walk to the beach, or the opportunity to immerse yourself in different cultures and have different experiences. And you know what? That life may not be perfect, but the good thing is it's yours. And for those of us who have made that move abroad to either Latin America, South America, or Southeast Asia, we are starting to realize and find that success looks very different, but it's still just as valid. So when you hear those people try to shame you for moving, they just don't understand. Success for me looks very different than success for you. And to be honest, I don't give a fuck what success looks like for you. I care what it looks like and feels for me. Look at this background. Harabacoa. And let's be clear, in the United States, there's still some undeniable positives there, but many still struggle with this limited vacation, this work culture, and these exorbitant medical bills, where in contrast, in other countries, many have universal health care where visiting the doctor won't put you in debt, or a country that truly recognizes work-life balance and gives you that time where you're able to be off and recharge. Let me get personal for a minute. I left the United States because I realized I was building a life that I didn't even like. I was doing all the right things. I was working hard. I was checking all the right boxes, but still I was tired. I was stressed and disconnected. And I remember when I first visited the Dominican Republic, everything just really clicked. I felt peace. I felt the connection. I felt the warmth, not just from the weather, but from the people. I didn't move here just for the beauty. I moved here to live life on my own terms. And every single day I wake up, I'm reminded that this version of the dream is real. And guess what? It's mine. So let's be honest. I always say this, moving abroad is not for everyone because it comes with its own set of challenges. It takes planning, it takes flexibility, and the willingness to step out of your own comfort zone. There are language barriers, cultural differences, and yes, there are going to be some days that are tough. But if you're feeling stuck, you're feeling unfulfilled, and you won't change, then moving abroad is something that's worth exploring. And if you watch YouTube, you're seeing more and more stories of Americans who found this renewed sense of life outside of the US by taking that chance, by taking that leap and moving abroad. They're finding that financial freedom, those stronger communities, and the pace of life that aligns with their values. They are, or we are, in essence, defining the American dream on our own terms in these new and exciting locations around the globe. I have never told anyone that they should move to Dominican Republic. I say go where you are treated best. I talk about Dominican Republic because this is where I live and this is what feels comfortable to me. If Colombia is your thing, go there. If Brazil, go there. Southeast Asia, go there. Tokyo, go there. Go where you are treated best and you feel like you can get the best quality of life and the bang for your buck. Because I know a lot of people think that I'm recruiting people to come to Dominican Republic. Listen, I could care less if you come here. It's not going to change anything about my life. I'm just showing people the type of life that you can live outside of the United States if you're feeling like you're heading to a dead end. This new version of the dream is about choice, and you get to choose what success looks like to you. And for many people, it looks like life outside of the United States. So is moving abroad the new American dream? For many of us, yes, it absolutely is. And it's not about running from something, because a lot of people love to say, oh, you're running from here, you're running from there. It's not about running from something. It's about running toward a life that makes you feel better. So if you've been thinking about moving abroad, or if this video sparks something in you, drop a comment below and let me know. And before I go, guys, remember, I have this weekly newsletter. It's called Live Your Best Life Newsletter. If you're into money, you're into personal development, you're into living life abroad, this is a newsletter for you. I'm gonna leave a link in the video description below so you can check out, sign up. I'll see you over there. And until then, guys, remember, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're gonna live your best life. And we out. Peace.
You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I know.